The Civil Rights Movement, also known as the Civil Rights Act of 1964, was a landmark piece of legislation in the United States. This outlawed major forms of discrimination against African Americans and women, including racial segregation. It ended unequal application of voter registration requirements and racial segregation in schools and the workplaces by the facilities that serve the general public. Voices of Civil Rights. Who were these individuals that made the Civil Rights Movement possible? John Fitzgerald Kennedy, better known as JFK. He was the 35th President of the United States. He was for the African American Civil Rights Movement, which banned discrimination based on race, color, religion, or national origin in employment practices and public accommodations. JFK never got to see the Civil Rights Movement passed in the United States because he was assassinated in 1963. Martin Luther King Jr. was an American clergyman, an activist, and a prominent leader in the Civil Rights Movement. He is best known for his role in the advancement in the Civil Rights Movement in the United States and around the world using nonviolent methods. This is a part of his speech when he did the March on Washington. He said, quote, "I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character." End quote. Rosa Parks was an African American civil rights activist whom the U.S. Congress called the First Lady of Civil Rights and the Mother of Freedom Movement. On December 1st, 1955, in Montgomery, Alabama, Rosa Parks refused to obey the bus driver in order to give up her seat for a white passenger. Parks' action was not the first of its kind in the impact of the civil rights issue. She was taken to jail. But this affected the spark of the Montgomery bus boycott. Parks' act of defiance became an important symbol of the modern civil rights movement, and Parks became an international icon of the resistance to racial segregation. She organized and collaborated with the civil rights leaders, including boycott leader Martin Luther King Jr., helping to launch his national prominence in the civil rights movement. Lyndon B. Johnson. He became our president 2 hours and 8 minutes after President John F. Kennedy was assassinated. He was sworn in on Air Force One. He said that President Kennedy would want nothing more than to see the civil rights movement passed, because that's what he had worked for so long. So after he signed the bill and revised the stronger bill into law on July 2nd, 1964, legend has it that he put down his pen and told an aide, "We have lost the South for a generation," anticipating a comeback clash from Southern whites against Johnson's Democratic Party. Also noting that he achieved passage of the second Civil Rights Bill, which was the Voting Rights Act in 1965. Mrs. Anthony was part of the Civil Rights Movement because She fought for women's suffrage rights. And in 1869, she, for the first time, was on the opposing side of a debate with the American Equal Rights Association, also known as AERA, which had originally fought for both blacks and women's right to suffrage, voted to support the 15th Amendment to the Constitution, granting suffrage to black men but not women. Anthony questioned why women should support this amendment when black men were not continuing to show support to women's voting rights. Soon thereafter, she devoted herself to the suffrage for women's rights movement. All charges were dropped from her, including her $100 fine, after the bill was passed. With all this being said, I believe that no matter what your skin color, your eye color, your hair color, your race, religion, sex, it doesn't matter. Everyone should be treated equally and given the equal opportunity to succeed in life, just as all these people on this slideshow fought for.